You have to do the same thing as me.
I normally don't, but that one was, I looked like I was in a high chair compared to.
That's how it was when I came in. It was all, it was like basically almost straight in here.
Yep.
And sometimes I come in, it must be Kim that is sitting in that chair.
Sit
and
all
I
the
feel
way
like,
down.
Let's give it my elbows up here.
Yeah.
These glasses are gonna drive me nuts.
Why?
I just got new glasses and they're black ones.
Oh, yeah.
And when I had a different prescription. Anyway, I keep hitting the thing in the middle.
So it'll be interesting.
Thank you for the truck routing map.
Are your glasses solved too? Now that you're up, are you all good?
Yeah, I just need it for reading.
Ah.
Sometimes. Depends on how big, like this I can read.
Yeah.
This I can't.
My hair, you know, I
I
needed
got a
to
text
look
from
pretty.
them
And
that bill 1696 won't be heard tonight.
yes.
Right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Thankfully, they were able to work it out.
It's gonna be like,
Hey, Lee,
you know.
we're gonna call the order.
I'm gonna call the Oak Park Heights City Council. Are we on the air yet? Or not?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll call the Oak Park Heights City Council meeting for Tuesday, April 26th to order, and first is Pledge of Allegiance, if you'd like to join us. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next, we have a presentation on the Norrell Avenue construction, and Lee Mann, our city engineer, is going to take over.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council, staff, property owners, staff working the construction project. This is the third public meeting for the Norrell Avenue Improvement Project. And so tonight, we just want to go through the project, give the highlights, and look for any questions that anybody might have on that. So we will begin. There we go. So our agenda tonight will go through some quick welcome and introductions, project information, then discuss the project schedule, provide contact information for the project, and then open it up to questions at the end. So as far as our welcome and introductions, first of all, for the benefit of the attendees to the neighborhood meeting, we have Mayor Mary McComber, Councilmember Mike Liljegren, Councilmember Mike Runk, Councilmember Carly Johnson, Councilmember Chuck Doherty, Assistant City Administrator Jen Pinsky, Steve Hansen, Chief of Police, Eric Johnson, City Administrator, myself, the City Engineer here in Oak Park Heights. We have Ryan Marquette, who is the Construction Manager for the project, and Mike Dare with Eureka Construction, who will be the Project Manager for the contractor. And so we also would like to acknowledge our partners on this project, the Minnesota Department of Transportation, as well as Washington County, who will be helping us administer the financing for the project. So to start out, just to kind of go over the overall project quickly, I think most of you will recognize the project layout from Norrell here. Basically, there's several things that are going on here for this project. First of all, we'll be cutting off the access of these frontage roads to Norrell, which is one of the issues that was identified by the state as far as the safety of the intersection. So those two frontage roads are going to be cut off, except for there will be a slip lane that will allow traffic to go from west to east here to help provide access for the businesses on this side of Norrell. The Norrell intersection here is going to be expanded with an additional turn lane. And down in this area, right where currently the Walmart access is, as you're going southbound from 36, we will be putting in a roundabout. And at this roundabout, we will have a west leg and an east leg, again, that will provide more fluent access to the parking lots for all of these businesses along the area here. And then as we go to the south, the taking out of the roundabout here as we finish the taper and the median, we will also be resurfacing through a reclaim and pave all the way down to Norrell. And so that is the project in a nutshell. Whoops, wrong way. All right. So one of the things we definitely wanted to make sure we talk about tonight is the phasing of the project, which is going to provide the impacts to the neighborhood as well as the public. So phase one of the project, which is anticipated to start tomorrow and go through June 18th, will be to close off Norrell at 36 down to this point right here, that access, that Walmart access that goes right in front of their building. And so this area will be closed off, and as well as the frontage road on either side of Norrell. So you can see on this map here, which is included in the handouts, where the access will be Oak Green will be the detour route to get back into the project area, as well as some other areas, from, if you're coming from other directions, obviously 58th Street is going to be the main way to get in. But if you're on 36, you're going to need to use Oak Green to get into the project. Phase 2 of the project continues to have Norrell closed in this area and the rest of the road closed all the way down to 58th. There will be access for Walmart deliveries only through this section right here. But again, the detour for Norrell is again Oak Green, which will be able to bring everybody one way or another into the project site. And this particular phase is anticipated to go from June 18th until August 25th. Phase 3 of the project, which everybody will be happy to get to, will have Norrell opened up, and the access on the frontage road will be back to the proposed final condition, as well as over in this area of the frontage road. And then these last two legs of the east and west connections to Kruger and Norwich will be completed. But at this point, the majority of the access is back. The project is just being finalized with these couple of areas. So another point to look at on Highway 36, with Norrell closed here, these straight-through lanes will be blocked off, as well as the left turn lanes on 36 going westbound. The right turn lane going eastbound will be blocked. And there's going to be work going on from MnDOT, some signal work and some trail and ped work happening in this intersection and on this side as well. And so one of the left turn lanes are going to be blocked off on the eastbound left turning north will be blocked off as well between all these 3 months. So that kind of gives you a summary of what's happening with the MnDOT work part of this project. We do have a map that shows truck routes, so where the trucks will be able to go in order to get to the various businesses. Again, off of 58th Street, off of Oak Green, and then the frontage road, and then the Neal Avenue, the frontage road over here. So we do show that. This is phase 1. Again, April 27th through June 18th. And then phase 2 being this whole entire area being closed. The truck routes are similar. Again, June 18th through August 25th. So the overall project schedule, project starts tomorrow. And we've talked a little bit already about the phasing and the start. Phase 1 starts tomorrow. Phase 2 is anticipated to start on June 18th. Phase 3 is anticipated to start August 25th. Substantial completion for the project is October 2nd of this year, and final completion is October 15th. Project communication, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, the primary contact on the project is Ryan Marquette, the construction manager on the project with Stantec. His information is in the packet that was passed out. For the city, Eric Johnson, the city administrator, Jennifer Pinsky, the assistant city administrator. Again, all of their information is on the handout, and myself, the city engineer, again, all that information is available. But the main point of contact day to day for any immediate issues that need to be addressed is Ryan Marquette, the construction manager. And then we have a project links and contacts page. I'll hand it over to Jen to talk about that.
Good evening again, Jennifer Pinsky, Assistant City Administrator. The city's website does have a page for project updates, which will be updated weekly. That's just, you can go right to our main website, cityofoakparkheights.com, and then there is a link right on that main page Norel project page. You'll want to click on that and you'll see the weekly updates. If you want to be added to a list to be updated anytime an update is posted, you may email the project email. That's also in the packet. If you didn't get a packet, it's along the wall in the back of the room. The email address is norelconstructionproject@stantec.com. It's up here on the screen and then again on the handout over on the table. So you would be alerted weekly each time an update is posted. Thank you.
All right, so we are at the point where we will open it up to questions. Myself or Ryan, or perhaps the contractor, depending on the question. We've also, again, reiterated what all of the contact links and phone numbers are so that everybody has what they need in order to ask questions or get items addressed through the project. So at this point, I would open it up to questions. Any questions from the council?
Well, just one, this work is going to be going on obviously all summer, but have you been in contact with NDOT with regard to the resurfacing of 36 and where they're going to land at their timeline too? Because then everything will be torn up. And then also with the county, with Osgood, with their construction.
Correct. We have been in touch with MnDOT. In fact, the work that is being done for MnDOT as part of this project has been kind of the impetus for us being in pretty close communication with them, as well as the funding for the project. Refresh my memory, but I think is it July 1st that MnDOT is planning on being through the area with their resurfacing. Okay. So the MnDOT work that I mentioned earlier is all, the plan is to have that done by then so that they can just come through and do their paving right around the 1st of July. Obviously depending on how their project goes, if they meet those timeframes or not.
Weather permitting, usually.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So there'll be some people who'll be upset that 36 is a mess, and then there's also the mill and overlay going on at the
Correct.
same time, so.
Yeah. Well, it's construction season, and it will be challenging, as it is every year in some place or another.
I had to drive to Coon Rapids yesterday. This is just the start.
Mm. Yeah. So.
I guess MnDOT did have they did have a website for the project explaining their timing as to how
That's
it's going
nice
to
to
work.
talk about it right now. I'll
Right,
talk
but
about
I'm
this one
just,
too.
if somebody wants to look at it, I think they're starting, their project is starting about now, but they're starting over on Edgerton
Right.
and
Barrels are out there.
working through.
West to east. Yep.
And also the county, did they give you updates on the frontage road at Osgood?
Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking they're starting in July.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
That's
Their
not as
project-
big of a project though.
Yeah, their project, what we understand, is on the north side, up the hill, is largely a mill and overlay. So that should go relatively quick.
Okay.
Down the hill, eastwardly, is basically a full reconstruct with an addition of a turn lane.
Any questions from the council? Any questions from the audience? Go ahead.
So when it gets to phase 3 is when it shows that the rear, I'm on road footage from the Panera
Okay.
area there, the building next to it, my building. So phase 3 is when that rear entrance will be open. And on the map, on phase 3, it shows the green line as the pass-through, and then the road is closed beyond that on the east side. So you come through the turnabout heading, west.
This
And
way,
then the road is closed
over here.
permanently going through, and then it shows the northbound cut through green line.
This one here. Correct?
In reality, the other cut through is gonna be on my property, on the Panera property right there.
This one right here.
Yeah, that goes all the way through. So my concern is, we already have people kind of going fast through there, and how can we slow that down? It's gonna be a cut through from both sides, because they're gonna hit that end on the north. And like right now, it's pretty narrow
So you're saying that they're gonna come here and then cut this way,
Or the other way,
or the other way, okay? Whoops.
and it's actually a private road. It doesn't just have any parking lots there, it goes straight through.
Right.
And our parking spots, literally, the yellow line is now around the road, so. I don't know if there's anything we can do there, can we put in speed bumps, can we?
Well, I guess I would like to have Ryan take a look at that, maybe go out there and look at that if you're around as well. It might not hurt to be out there together and take a look, and we'll take a look and see what we can do in that regard. And decide what the potential options are.
Could you put up a temporary sign that says not a through street, private parking?
That could probably be part of the traffic control.
And then chief, maybe temporarily just keep an eye, have one of the officers, when they're out and about, take a look at it and see if it's an issue.
Well, it's not gonna be open until the end, so it'll be
Right.
a forever issue, not a construction issue.
Sure.
I think if there was a sign that says it's a private parking lot, not a through street or something like that, that could be put up.
So we'll take a look at that. I understand the concern. Other questions?
Any other questions from council or staff? Audience? Everybody's good with it? Hopefully the weather will be nice this summer and it'll go fast.
If they starting tomorrow, there'll be questions.
Well, there's a website and there's phone numbers, so if people do have questions after the fact, they can contact it, the city, or contact you, Lee.
And we will be monitoring, all day, every day, the email and the hotline.
Okay.
So our goal is always to get back within 24 hours on those two items. And Ryan will be out there and he'll be responding, in real time.
Good.
All right. Thank you.
Get your errands done tonight. So if we're all done with that, I guess we can move on with the council meeting.
Good job.
Good to see you, Trent. Anything new about Pop?
All right, next is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes or additions?
I move for approval.
Second?
Motion by Councilmember Doherty, second by Councilmember Liljegren. All in favor?
Aye.
Next is council staff reports. I just found out that one of the things I have to testify before the Senate Property Tax Division tomorrow on Senate File 3641. And then on Friday, I have the Energy Transition Committee, Advisory Committee. And then there's also an IRP update, which I think Eric or Jennifer, you're going to cover that for me. And then I also did get a text from our lobbyist that will reschedule our conference call from Friday she'll send us sometimes. And that's all I have for this week. Councilmember Doherty.
The Park Commission meeting was canceled for this month, so I have nothing to report.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
The only thing I have to report is that it looks like we'll have a full community garden. It looks like all beds have been taken.
Good. Councilmember Liljegren.
The only comment I had, Mayor, I noticed they're trying to schedule the Bayport Fire Department meeting. Have we received any of the data? I thought we had left that wanting to receive the data before we scheduled
I
any
got an
meeting.
email from Adam Bell, their city administrator, saying that they were going to reschedule or send out a doodle link, to look for another meeting, and that they have more information that they'll be providing at that time.
Okay. So we don't know that we'll get it beforehand, but it may be, we will get it.
I'm
at
sure
that
we'll get it
meeting
when we
potentially.
get the agenda, because usually if there's any attachments, that comes with it, so we have a chance to review it before the meeting, but I don't know what the date is going to be.
Okay.
And then maybe I can ask you, because I know there's another JASB meeting coming up, but I don't know the date, do you?
I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see if I can
Well,
find it.
hopefully it's not like tomorrow when we miss it.
No, I thought it was I was thinking it was first week in May, but.
Okay, that's fine. I'll get it by then. Councilmember Runk.
The only thing I had was the Middle St. Croix watershed was canceled this month, but I did have to attend the Lower St. Croix area planning meeting last night in Center City. So other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you. Chief Hansen.
Just a couple quick things, Mayor and Council. Just a reminder, also on the construction topic, Highway 36 at Manning is going to be closed as of Friday at 7 p.m. both ways. So they're all weekend, so it's going to be a little bit of disruption. Additionally, on the police end, training, we'll wrap up a 40-hour EMR first responder training. All the officers will be wrapping that up, and as well as acknowledging our newest officer, Kaylin Fehrendorf, will be coming up on her 1 year already. Wow. And so she'll be coming off for probation on the 3rd of May. So congrats to her. She's doing an awesome job for us. So that's it, Mayor.
I have a question. I did see in that Stillwater had a carjacking a week ago. Has things been quiet as far as that? Here, hopefully?
It has. I don't know all the details to that specific event, but otherwise it's been quiet. I was just commenting, we haven't had a stolen car this month so far. But otherwise it's been fairly quiet. I suspect tomorrow will be busy. Some of the new traffic closures and rerouting and stuff, but
Until people get used to it, hopefully there's no accidents.
be a little bit of learning curve there, their new routes. Yep.
Thank you. Assistant City Administrator Jennifer Pinsky.
Mayor and Council, I have two things to report this evening. First is our recycling award winner. Our second winner for the month of April was Kaylin Strong at 5711 Oren Avenue North, and she was very excited to be chosen. She has selected a fire extinguisher as her award. And then the second thing I have to report is spring cleanup is coming up. It is Saturday, May 7th, 7:30 a.m. until 1 o'clock p.m. It is in the Anderson Corporation Southwest parking lot. We just ask residents to please enter off of Osgood Avenue, have your ID ready to show, and staff from Tennis Sanitation will unload items from your vehicles.
Thank you. Are there any other staff reports?
Mayor, just a quick update.
Sure.
I looked at the meeting. It's not the first week of May. It's actually the last week of May. It's the 25th,
Perfect.
3 o'clock.
Is it Baytown City?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
All right, next is visitor public comments section. This is the time for anyone in the audience who would like to address the council on any item. Please come forward. And we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is approved bills and investments. Check 68030 to 68058 for a total of $246,717.07. Approve city council minutes from April 12th, 2022. Approve body worn camera independent audit report. Approve food truck for private event at Valley View Park on June 1st, 2022. Approve food truck for private event at Brecky Park on June 26th, 2022.
I'll move the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Runk, second by Councilmember Doherty. Eric?
Councilmember Doherty?
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Liljegren?
Yes.
Councilmember Runk?
Yes.
Mayor McCumber?
Yes. We have no public hearings for tonight, so we'll move on to the old business, which is a request for proposals for solid waste and recycling pickup and disposal. Jennifer?
Yes, Mayor and Council, as you recall, Council met in April, on the 12th of April, to take a look at a timeline and process for preparing an RFP and provided feedback to staff. So staff has prepared a draft RFP based on that discussion and those comments made at the last council meeting, which is enclosed in your packet. So staff is requesting council review the proposed RFP and approve it, subject to final review and amendments by staff and city attorney.
You did a good job putting this all together. It was very clear.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for Jennifer? Is there a motion to approve the request for proposal for solid waste?
I'll move. Second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Liljegren, second by Councilmember Runk. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we'll move on to new business, which is the 2022 Minnesota Department of Natural Resources preparing for the Emerald Ash Borer grant. Lisa, is that you? Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So in January, the Minnesota DNR had a grant opportunity out there. It was called the 2022 Preparing for Emerald Ash Borer Grant. You could apply for a maximum of $150,000 funds requested, and we were required to provide a 25% match of the total project. I put together an application, submitted it, and we recently heard back that we were approved for all the funds that were requested on that application in the amount of $119,597.40. At the moment, we're just kind of still in the starting phase of the grant. We're waiting on getting the contract documents and stuff still from the DNR. The soonest we can start on this project would be this July, and it would end June of 2024. The proposed project is to remove 100 ash trees that are infested with emerald ash borer, starting with those that would likely pose a risk or they're just overall not in a good location. But of course, all these trees have to be located on the boulevard. We can't remove any private trees, so they're all going to be city-owned trees located along the city boulevard right-of-ways or within city parks, mowed areas. And then we're required to replant as well, so we'll remove 100, we'll replace 110. Another part of the application was a proposed planting list, so everything on that list is kind of picked to increase our species diversity located in Oak Park Heights here. So on this list, when we I guess complete everything and send it all out, you'll notice there aren't any maple trees proposed to be planted. That's because we have too many. So, and that will also help us in the future with other grant opportunities, showing that we're working towards the standard of the diversity that's required for a lot of these grants, and we're just not there, so it's one of the things that kind of kicks us out, unfortunately. So looking forward to starting with this project and providing some more updates in the future. Another part of it too is a 3-year maintenance plan for each of these trees that's planted. So throughout the project, we'll have to take photos and document that everything's being taken care of and whatnot.
Sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
You guys
Nice
have any
to get
questions?
caught up on some things.
Yeah.
Any questions for Lisa?
I have one question. So this is consistent with the adopted 5-year?
Yes, you're correct, Eric. I forgot about that, actually. This all matches up too with that, the management plan that you guys adopted last October. I believe it was page 12 of that. There's the projected expenses over the next 5 years. So everything on this grant was basically in line with our plan.
It's nice to get grants to help out with it.
I got a
Yeah.
quick question, Mayor. Has the treatment been pretty positive all around?
We haven't injected any city trees, but residents
But-
that have
Yep.
are,
Okay. And other
Showing-
cities that have
Yes.
seen positive results?
Yep.
Great.
Well, thank you for the update.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, then we have other council items and announcements, and last council meeting, I brought it up about with the construction with Norrell, possibly having a groundbreaking or maybe a ribbon cutting when it's finished. Any suggestions? Lee?
Well, sorry. Considering the weather and the imminent beginning of the project, it might be more fun to do a ribbon cutting when it's
Okay.
complete.
And
That's just
hopefully-
my personal opinion.
And hopefully it'll be early in October and it'll still be nice.
Correct,
No October snowstorms.
right?
Okay, why don't we just plan on that and we can talk about it over the summer as far as getting that set up. Are there any other council items or announcements? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Liljegren, second by Councilmember Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Well, we finished the meeting before we usually start. No, it's fantastic.